Doing a dance,
Skulls.
doing a dance to stave off hypothermia.
Ooh, my hands are
Doing a dance,
cold. My heart is
doing a
cold.
dance,
My feet are
doing a
cold.
dance to stave off
My nose is
hypothermia.
cold. My
It's the
hands are
deepest
cold. My
winter,
feet are cold.
the deepest
I'm so
winter
cold.
you've ever known. But we're
So
gonna dance so we can survive
cold.
till the
So
spring shows
cold.
up. It's
Woo!
Madame Askew and the Grand Arbiter. We're gonna give a dance today. It's the Madame Askew and Grand Arbiter show, and we're gonna make it super duper gay. Da, da, da.
Hello, Grand Arbiter.
Hello, Madame Askew. It is I, the Grand Arbiter.
And I am so delighted to be here with you. And look, it's Ty. Hello, Ty.
Hello,
my
Ty.
darling. Hello. Thank you for joining us.
Madame
Happy
Askew
holidays.
sent me a message via incredibly chonky carrier pigeon.
That's true.
The size on the size of the little vest the carrier pigeon wears was, oh Lord, he coming.
Yes.
And he said that they said that Madame Askew said that in that carrier pigeon message, it did not make it to you, unfortunately. I did say that you were their favorite Ty. So
that's true. That's true. That's true. Hello, Martha. Good evening, my darling. It's so wonderful to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, also, Ty, I was definitely telling the Grand Arbiter about how much I enjoyed your novel, your Clover Hill novel, Common Bond. It's such a charming read. So anyway, and it is for me very bookish season. So I spend a lot of time in the holidays reading some cozy, wonderful books. Grand Arbiter, speaking of cozy, wonderful books, did you know that our dear friend, Madame Gale, has a new book out this month?
I heard tale through but it was not it was her, but it was her more
oh yes,
sensual, her more sensual identity.
Her most scandalous ankle displaying alter ego, GL Carragher, released the Drazzi Dilemma, and that's another wonderful book to add to your reading list. And also, yes, the wonderful Clover Hill books. It's a huge series of like 12, 13 books. I've lost track, Ty, and they're all queer, and they center around the queer town of Clover Hill, and it's very charming. So if you're looking for a charming, cozy, wonderful read, check out that series. Hello, Broderick. It's so good to see you as well, my darling. Happy Friday, everyone. Grand Arbiter, I am really a book reader more than anything. I know, shocking no one. And you're more of a viewer of the moving picture.
I think that what we have so I do the written word with picture. I do the
animes.
The visual novel, it was what I was referencing. The visual novel.
Yes.
And I believe that you are more of a movie consumer than I am.
That's true. I am. Oh my goodness! It's Commodore Evie, Grand Arbiter.
The Commodore graces us with their presence.
We have not seen the Commodore in so long. I don't know why. Robin says, the Scon Mistress says YouTube is still showing us waiting. Other people on YouTube are able to follow along and see us, Scon Mistress. So I don't know if you can refresh, see if that helps. We are not wise in the ways of tech support there, but we are streaming there. So I hope you are able to follow along, whichever platform works best.
And I got the hyperlink, and I am replying to the message as requested.
Thank you. Thank you. Ty says it popped up as a different stream, so hopefully, thank you. So, but we were saying, Grand Arbiter, I am more of a movie watcher. You're more of a visual.
So I consume the serialized television.
Yes.
And the visual novel. You consume the novel more proper.
Yes.
And the film. Film.
Yes, and the film. Oh, hello, Ricky. Hello. So, we're having minor refresh nonsense.
It's not within our power. Be smart. Be savvy. Make the YouTube your biatch.
Or your butler, as we like to say. Make it your butler. But no, so Grand Arbiter, we are going to have a lovely conversation about all sorts of media, about holiday media tonight. But my curiosity for you, my question, because I have been reading lots of cozy fiction or fiction that gives me cozy vibes, like anything by Gail. I'm just going to feel, my heart is going to grow 10 sizes just from reading anything that Gail writes. But what is something that you turn to at this time of year for a little bit of coziness in terms of your visual novels?
Well, I tend to not have a pattern of comfort.
Oh.
I don't do a lot of comfort rewatches. That's not a thing that I'm usually a part of. That's not I'm not like all. I am not emotionally invested in things in that particular way. But what I do like to do at this time of year, and just generally, is I'm a big sharer of media. I like a rewatch with a person I can expose someone to.
Yes. All right. Yeah, you like to expose me to things all the time that way.
I'd like to, but most of them you wouldn't like. So I don't do that. I do it to other people who are less sensible and like more bad things than you. Your beautiful eclectic taste would be sullied by my trash garbage fire that I consume on the regular.
That is such a kind way of it's true. I like very arty things, and I can be a little bit
I'm showing
that way.
I'm showing Sir Luigi of my ancient trivia domain.
Yes.
I'm showing them arguably one of the most very ridiculous anime ever.
Yes.
In its over-top violence and unnecessary weirdness. It's a very adult anime called Future Diary, which is it's a battle royale anime, which is not your jam. But it has the main character has an obsessive stalker as a love interest, which adds for a very complicated narrative, which is not a thing you enjoy in a piece of media, is a complicated romance story.
Well, it depends.
Not with stalking.
Not with stalking, though. I would say there are some things that are definitely not for me, and that's one of them. But we do have different approaches to our coziness and our comfort in this month of holidays.
I think you take coziness in things that you know will make you feel a certain way. You are looking for emotional resonance.
Yes.
And I'm looking for narratives that I can eat deeper. I like a deeper narrative when I'm rewatching something.
Grand Arbiter, at this moment, I'm having a very hard time putting down the very naughty innuendo that I could run with about you wanting to eat things deeper. But I love that moment for us.
I need things to really fill me fully. And like a nice cozy thing is nice once in a while, but it really isn't, it's not very filling. It doesn't enrich my stature, as it were. Yes, June, it is working on YouTube, but we are but like if you follow this hyperlink, it should work just fine. I believe that Madam Askew may have scheduled a different one or something. It doesn't matter. It should be live if you reset the page.
There was a little technical difficulty, so hopefully refresh, follow that direct link, and it will take you to the one that is streaming. So my apologies. It's actually been it's been a time, but we're happy to be
It's here. December. December is always a time.
That's true. But today was particularly a time. So, but we're happy to be here. And one of the things that I do find particularly cozy and wonderful at this time of year is our time spent with all of you for our Friday teas. And this is our last Friday tea of 2024. This is not our last Friday tea ever, but we won't be back until sometime in January.
I mean, we won't be back until specifically calendar. We will be back January 3rd.
Are we coming back immediately after the new year?
I mean, if you want.
Right. Well, we'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it. I thought that was the plan.
Listen, we hadn't decided what we were doing.
Madam Askew might need to take a madam rest for 2 weeks.
Or I might be like delving so far into getting back on track with sewing that I may be enmeshed in a cocoon made of silk. So
yeah, that's an option. No guarantees about what's happening, but we will be having an event on January 31st.
That is correct. So let's talk about something we do have that's wonderful that is coming up in January that is very special to us here in the community.
We're still doing the New Year's event as well, correct?
Yes, also. Yeah, doing New Year's. Yes, but
let's do it in chronological order. I just said things wrong.
All right, good. We'll do it in chronological order.
Okay. So first up, we won't be back next week, but we will be back on December 31st to ring in the new year. Madam Askew and I have decided sort of what we're doing. You are all invited to the Lanwolf New Year's party. Featuring special guest soothsayer Babushka Askew.
Yes.
So please know that we are having a digital tea party in the on December 31st. It will be in a Zoom, so you will be sent a link to said Zoom if you check out our Discord or Patreon.
Yes. So we're going to have our annual Hogmanay party, but this year we're celebrating Lambwolf. And if you are not familiar with Lambwolf and its connection to the holiday season, let me tell you, it is the League of Aunties, Mavens, Witches, Uncles, and Fairy Godparents. And we are card-carrying members of Lambwolf. We're founders.
Laminated even. We're actually gold we're actually rainbow opalescence status.
And we stand in solidarity with the ongoing boycott from Lambwolf. There are no meet cutes and love at first kisses on Christmas Day or New Year's Eve for anyone from our organization until everyone is represented by big romance over there on the the mark of Hall and the flick of necks. We are very disappointed by the lack of representation for people to have their happy endings and their magical romances. And so we're going to talk about some of that on New Year's Eve for Hogmanay. Of course, in the most humorous of fashions. So come laugh with us, have a very gay old time for the new year. We'll be starting early in the evening on the West Coast. So those of you on the East Coast will not have to stay up until all hours to join us for the festivities. And I'm very, very, very excited to share this time with all of you. And also,
there will be no cog match this year. We're not doing cog match this year, but we are doing something new in partnership with Lamb Wolf. Lamb Wolf is always invested in identifying and ensuring that membership is extended to individuals who have charm, gumption, and a little whimsy. And as such, we're going to be doing interviews and mock challenges for Lamb Wolf matching. So you will be given potential couples and locations, and you'll have to tell us what meet cute you would set up for them. It's going to be a fun adventure, including our special guest, Soothsayer, not a member of Lamb Wolf, just a courageous, unique, special, and talented woman, Babushka Askew, who will be doing soothsaying readings using the ancient anime arts. So ancient anime arts of soothsaying to read the future.
Yes. The Grand Dame of Matches. I think she's the Grand Cantankerous of Matches.
I mean, she's not associated with Lamb Wolf. She's just very popular because Lamb Wolf is a place of like a lot of toxic positivity at times. And so you really need someone who's kind of a really good at she's there to roast people. That's her general vibe.
And we encourage you to come dressed as your version of a magical figure who helps enable the meet cute on our queer romance adventures. So, well, honestly, they're not just queer; they're romances for everybody.
But it's a romance for everybody and everybody, and it is what Lamb Wolf is about.
Yes.
So we'll be creating some matches.
Yes.
And you'll demonstrate your skills. It should be fun. And in between these little challenges, Babushka Askew will read the fortunes of our members and practitioners of the coupling arts.
And also, Eric, she is strong like bear. But I also want to come back to something else. Lady June Squill, this is absolutely the vibe. We are all here to say goodbye to the, if I may, this
not
is
a goodbye. Please leave.
Please leave. If you two have had a rough year, this will be the party in which we may put it to rest where it belongs. So we'll be saying goodbye or saying leave, go, get out. We're done with you to 2024. And
we're closing down shop.
Yeah, we are. And it will be wonderful because we'll be together. And hello. Oh, cheers to you at Galveston. Hello, Johnny. Wonderful. Thanks for joining us tonight. And also, yes, we do. We're going to need that Butch Bouncer to remove 2024 from the premises. Thank you. Ty. 24, here's your hat. What's your hurry? Get out. And Scone Mistress, The Hobbit has been good for all of us this year. Thank you for sharing her with us and sharing your adventures. But yeah, it's been rough for many of us, and we are not going to make any pretense it hasn't been, but we are going to get together, celebrate together, and find laughter, whimsy, and comfort together.
And we're going to celebrate the fact that we get to be together. And I think that that's something that's the thing that's just a walk away, is that like we're all here.
Yes.
We're here. We're still here
Yes.
because in life is the potential for things to get better.
Or as Calamity Ware says, things could be worse.
I mean, yeah, that's true. That's very difficult. I'm so sorry, June. We wish him the best moving forward. I understand that it's a very troubling time right now.
Yeah. Please give my love as well to your wonderful daughter, and I'll check in and see if I can bring you any sort of comforts to help out. So, yeah, that's awful.
So we are going to work on enjoying the year that we can have, where we can have it, regardless of the challenges. Speaking of which,
yes,
not everything this year was terrible. And that is what the Golden Tippy Awards is for. There are many lovely things this year, and January 31st, we will be, I think it's January 31st.
Let us confirm it's the last January it's the last Friday in January, which is in fact the 31st.
Yes. So we will be celebrating our favorite creators, makers, and
community leaders,
community members.
Yes.
With the Golden Tippy Awards, the Tippy Golden Teacup Awards. We have had this will be our 3rd year. It's the last January in January, correct. And that while the Dark Council makes all the final decisions on who is selected as the winner for each of these categories, you have the option to submit your favorites or even yourself.
And we encourage you to submit yourself if you feel that you fit the criteria for the category. We want you to submit yourselves. Please do the thing.
The categories this year are the Grand Macaroni, the Dandy of the Year, the Textile Transformer, the sewist who has transformed and grown the most as a sewist. Our new award, the Brass Forge, Prop Maker Extraordinaire. Our new award, Dynamic Duos. Madam Askew and I might be a very popular dynamic duo, or I'd like to think we are.
Yes.
But we are not the only dynamic duo.
We are not.
This is recommending couples. This could be romantic couples, friends, siblings, people who work together to make art and make the community a better place.
Yes.
There's a number of other secret awards that will be decided by the Dark Council. And of course, the place where you have the greatest influence, the Bibliomancy Award, which has already been available for you to vote on. So if you haven't voted for that yet, you can. And Madam Askew will be making a post together later with both this and the Bibliomancy Award on it in our Patreon to be public available to if you misplace this link. So we'll be sending this link everywhere, wherever you want.
Grand Arbiter, currently the link is not public, so we'll need to make an adjustment there. Thank you for letting us know, Johnny. I appreciate it. So please vote for your book of the year, though. The Bibliomancy Award.
It should work now.
I will grab that link as well. The Bibliomancy Award has been posted around and about on our social media and what have you. When I post this link onto our website and Patreon, I'll also include the Bibliomancy Awards link again as well. And I encourage you not only to vote yourselves for your favorite book from our reading list of 2024, because those are the books we pull from every year, but also to share it with your chums who love steampunk books. Encourage them to vote for ones that they love, or simply to read with us this coming year, because we have an incredible list of books for our monthly book club in 2025. I'm so excited to get reading with all of you. And I love this. Oh, I'm sad for you, Alicia, but not that sad. Alicia had to toss a coin to decide because two of the books on the list was such strong contenders for her. That is something I love about our reading list, was there were so many incredible books. It's hard to choose, and I'm so happy I don't have to, because I would have a really hard time picking my singular favorite from the last year of reading. They were so many wonderful reads from beginning to end. So anyway, please nominate some of your favorite people for these categories and join us on Friday, January 31st. In place of our Friday tea, we will be hosting our Golden Tippy Awards, and I will post the event page and details so you all know where to find us for that. It will be a gay old time, as so much of what we do is, Grand Arbiter.
Mm-hmm. Yes, of course. So that is that, and everyone should have access now. It was just giving sillies. It was just giving sillies, but it's now.
Excellent. Thank you, Grand Arbiter. And I'm grabbing that link for the Bibliomancy Award, so I'll get that posted up as a reminder for everyone.
So be sure if you misplace these links and you need to find them again, you just connect via the Discord, or just let us know in the coming weeks. We'll announce closure. I think that the nominations will close the week of the 24th, right? The week before?
Yes. Well, usually we close them 2 weeks before, but we're going to push it a little bit, give you more time to vote.
Yeah. You have till the 24th to submit. If you get late, that's fine. You can we'll just try our best. It's a bit of a chaotic time, so please be patient with us as we do put on this show. It is made out of love and gossamer and nothing else. So
love and gossamer, and honestly the support of our Patreon community, because you keep the lights on, metaphorically and literally. So thank you, Patreon subscribers, for enabling all of this nonsense. And thank you, Johnny, for the kind words. That's so lovely. We adore you. Good luck with your event in Galveston. Such a gorgeous town, by the way. We've never been able to attend, schedule and everything being sometimes at odds, but I must tell you all that the joys of Galveston, it is just a beautiful city and a wonderful location for events. And I love that you do a steampunk event there, Johnny. That's so fun. So if you are in the Texas, Louisiana area, it's very convenient to get to. And I recommend checking it out. So, Grand Arbiter, we do have holiday nonsense.
Oh, and you can't vote us for Dynamic Duo, though, just so you know. We will not be selecting ourselves for any awards.
Yes.
You can. It just won't mean anything. It will just
it will mean something to us in our hearts. We'll be very chuffed. But since we host the awards show, we don't accept any awards.
No, that would be weird. But we do have our own. We will let you know about all the nominations before. The plan will probably be on the 24th. We will announce who is nominated.
Yeah.
So it will be, you have until we announce on the 24th who the nominations are, and then you'll find out next week who the winner is.
Yes, yes, so exciting. So we're thrilled to be hosting our third year of these awards. They're very near and dear to our hearts. Our delightful chum Eve Riot, who's off being fabulous and performing this weekend in Louisville, Kentucky, is also one of the founders behind the awards and helped us kick it off originally, and usually is there whenever possible to support this coming year's awards as well. So you'll see that there's going to be a fun bunch of people presenting and chatting about things, as well as all of the folks who are accepting awards. It's a really lovely evening, and I hope you will come and join us, because one of the things I love about this award is it is community driven, and it is not aligned with any one convention or any sort of marketing scheme. It's not part of a reality show. It's just the love of our community for people we see doing wonderful work and inspiring us and supporting the values of our community, which what a great thing to start the year out with. So I'm excited for that.
And it aligns with our goal to have things ready by the Lunar New Year, which we, of course, recognize as the true, more noble of New Year's.
Yes, it's
because
true.
it is, of course, managed by the more superior celestial body, the moon.
The moon, and we love the moon. So yes. Very exciting. We'll kick off the Lunar New Year. We'll celebrate our community, and I personally love dressing up for this event. So I encourage all of you to put on the diamond dog, as it were, and really turn out and have fun for it. It is sort of our response to the Academy Awards and the Golden Globes as well. We're like, if they can come up with fascinating awards, so can we. So we did. Here we are. So.
And this is just the tip of the iceberg on awards this year. We have a number of awards to give out, some that have already been decided, some that have not yet been decided. So be sure you've nominated your favorites or yourself. As a reminder, it is totally appropriate to nominate yourself for an award.
Absolutely.
If you believe that you are deserving, we will not hold you to some sort of weird Puritan standard of humbleness will not get you far here.
Grand Arbiter.
I think I don't think humble. You should know this. I'm a villain a little bit, as we all know. But this is a true fact. I do not see humbleness as a value. I don't think it's valuable. I think it's bad. I think everyone should celebrate themselves, and that being humble is a kind of line to hide your skill set. Be honest about who you are and how talented you are, and nominate yourself if you feel like you've earned it.
Grand Arbiter. That is some strong verbiage on your thesis about the inferiority of humbleness. I am aghast and overcome, but also inspired.
I am also aghast and overcome, but maybe that's just what I had for lunch.
Yes, and Alicia has decided that is a t-shirt or a pin to hand out at conventions.
Hold on. I'll be right back.
Yes, of course. The airship pirates are coming for the Grand Arbiter. So, my darlings, I'm just going to remove the Arbiter for a moment whilst he is dealing with a spot of bother in Cascadia at his Fortress of Solitude. And this means I get to torment you for a few moments by myself. My goodness. Listen, I'm so excited. We're going to be talking about our Patrons Corner, super secret topic. in just a moment once the Grand Arbiter returns, and that is holiday related, and should be like our most scandalous topic ever, perhaps. And so I'm very, very excited for that. But yes, you know what? Scone Mistress is right. This is exactly what we're going to talk about right now. Tomorrow is our final Sip the Tea of 2024 as well. I will be back with that in January with a wonderful guest. But tomorrow I am welcoming Helena Greer to discuss her wonderful holiday series of books, the Carrington's Christmas books. Sip the Tea starts at 10 a.m. Pacific, and it streams in all the places you are watching right now. And listen, I love these books from Helena. They are wonderful reads that talk about cozy. They are cozy. They are queer. They are holiday themed, but not quite like you expect them to be. And so we're going to have an absolutely incredible time talking about this tomorrow. And and this is Scone Mistress is a huge fan of these books as well, and just reread the first book, which is Season of Love, and is on to the second book. The third and final book in the trilogy just came out in time for the holidays and is an absolute delight. So I recommend reading them, and I hope you will join us tomorrow for the Sip of the Tea. Bring your questions for the author. If you are one of our Patreon subscribers, be certain to post any questions you might have in the comments of the post on Patreon, because I will be certain to queue those questions up first. But it's going to be wonderful. I'm actually old chums with Helena, and I'm so proud of her and really excited to have her on the show. Grand Arbiter, welcome back.
I am back. I was able to stave off the airship invaders, but it's all dealt with.
Excellent. Good.
So moving forward to the more important topic of the evening, we've covered all the things that are happening. I think we're going to need to put out a schedule for the next 2 weeks.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of looking at the schedule, it's like, oh, actually, it's very full, and we won't be back until it starts happening. So we'll send out a schedule very shortly.
Yes. Honestly, if you go to Patreon or our website, I do have a calendar up for the month of December. And so those are public posts, so anyone can see them. It's very helpful to keep up sometimes with our schedule. So something you should know, I'm going to not be humble, but I'm going to be honest. I have a terrible habit of feeling like the Grand Arbiter and I don't do that much, and that we aren't that busy, and that we don't have that much going on. And the Grand Arbiter every time has to tell me, Hussy, are you deranged? Have you looked at our calendar? And then I do, and I'm like, oh, that's not that much, is it? But my darlings, we have quite a bit going on, even in our quieter months. And so I recommend checking out that calendar, adding it to your schedule, and seeing all the fun things that we plot every month. So I try and get it up at the beginning of each month to let you know what's coming. And someday we'll have a newsletter again, and I will post it there as well. So yeah, Grand Arbiter.
Yes, I am back. I am focused. We're here.
Are you ready? Are you ready
for
our scandalous conversation?
Yes, I'm double checking our notes to make sure things haven't changed in the 10 minutes since I've been distracted.
Yes.
We had several fun conversation topics for today, but the topic that we landed on is holiday movie scandals. So today we'll be talking about, for Patreon's Corner, which you can participate in voting by joining Patreon for a very low nominal fee to keep Madame Askew and myself in scones and out of sadness.
Yes.
just like Tiny Tim, will only live if you continue to put coal in the fire. If the coal doesn't show up, we'll freeze to death and we'll get the bad timeline.
Yes.
So don't be a Scrooge. Join us in the Patreon.
Grand Albert, you just described us as Tiny Tim. It was delightful. Are you ready to talk about our scandalous film opinions?
Yes. So we have a number that we have compiled into a list, and we're going to go over some films that are popular but might be controversial.
Yes.
And I have a lot of strong opinions because there's lots of holiday movies that I detest as a hateful, sour bitch. There's many things I hate. So I have lots of things to say about all of these films. Well, some of these films. Some of these films I actually like, but
and also we don't like both of we don't both like the same things.
No, Madison and I don't like to. I think we'll just start and then we'll and if you have movies that you think we should discuss in depth, no, you have to clap for us or we'll die too. We're like true fairies. Without clapping, we will die.
That's true.
So money and clapping or we die. There's a lot of things that keep us alive. I'm sorry. This is just how the scone is sconed. So our first movie on the list to discuss is, of course, most controversial, most very popular, very controversial.
Yeah.
Lots of memes have been made about it. Okay. Lots of content. It's, of course, Love Actually.
Oh, Love Actually. Oh, my goodness. Well, this is fun because I like this movie with warts and all. I am very aware of the criticism, and some of it is absolutely warranted. It is an imperfect film, but gosh darn it, Emma Thompson is just an absolute masterclass.
Emma Thompson cannot save this film from being a movie that is mostly about people who don't like each other.
No, Liam Neeson is an absolute delight. He and his son love each other, and he's so lovely. And I love him.
I just think the weird scene with Keira Knightley. It's Keira Knightley, right?
Yes, it is.
The weird scene with the sign is so horrifying and unpleasant that it just colors the whole film.
Yeah. I just, honestly, when I watch the movie, which I do generally once a year over the holidays, I skip that section. I know it's coming. I just skip it. I was like, oh, that's not jolly. That's not good. Here's a problem. He's not a good chum. He's not a good friend.
Well, we're celebrating and you're telling me the whole country is celebrating the prime minister cheating on his wife?
He's not married.
Well, okay.
Hugh Grant is not married. His character is not married.
Well, not cheating on his wife. The weird way in which that's Alan Rickman. Alan Rickman's cheating on his wife.
Yes, and it's very sad because I love Alan Rickman, but sometimes he plays a villain.
And then they took arguably one of the most uncomfortable parts of American history, the Monica Lewinsky scandal, and made it into a love story.
Well, you could frame it that way. Absolutely. And it really, generally, HR would not approve of the Prime Minister starting a romance.
I'm Howard Reams, and I ream this into oblivion.
Whatever. Hugh Grant is wonderful in that dance scene. And even though there is a power imbalance and that would be a problem in reality, the fantasy of this film is that the power imbalance does not matter. And she's clearly fully on board with this romance.
Even though they have this weird thing where they keep calling her fat, even though she's like a not
No,
fat lady.
no, I don't like that. But yes, obviously, even though they're like, oh, she's a healthy person who has a normal amount of body fat and she's cute, but this is
See,
produced
see,
by.
Tracy's with me. Tracy's with me.
Oh, I
Oh,
still love it.
I know. Okay, let's
I,
move to something that we both know we can hate
oh,
together while
oh,
still understanding it's an
oh.
American classic.
Okay, bring it. I'm ready.
A Christmas Story.
Oh. Ooh, no, I
So,
hope you're ready, everyone, because the Grand Arbiter and I, we do not like this
do
movie.
not like this. So my personal problem with Christmas Story is that Christmas Story is good.
Yes.
It's narratively good. It's an interesting concept for a film, and generally not a lot to say about the film as a whole, but its saturation is so deep in the cultural mindset, and it is so incredibly like the idea that this movie is so good that it could be played on a 24-hour loop multiple times over the year, like Christmas in July, we're going to watch The Christmas Story 24/7 forever. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what do you mean? What do you mean we're watching this story about a sort of mediocre child and his mildly friendly family and the charming magic that is Christmas?
Yeah. The thing
You didn't really appreciate that pink bunny onesie.
No, but listen, somebody made that. That was like that was a high level of craftsmanship to create the pink bunny onesie. There just was not enough love for the onesie. But my quibbles with this film, I think one, we don't have a certain kind of cultural reference to it. While we are time travelers, we have not grown up in every era. We have our eras in which we have a fixed start point. And I don't have a lot of the references for the nostalgia engine that is very important to the magic of this film. It is run on nostalgia. And I think I like nostalgia sometimes, but I also like nostalgia.
I mean, that is an understatement of this and every century.
All right, listen, I'm a nostalgic hussy, but I also like nostalgia that isn't nostalgia for bad things. So, and this is a movie that's nostalgic about bad things. Like, what's the joy in washing a child's mouth out with soap? Nothing. That's not nice. That's not a nice piece of nostalgia.
I think it's also nostalgic for an era that doesn't truly exist.
Yeah.
It does have this sort of like, it's a nostalgia and fascination with an imagined world. Yes, we're all very young, June.
Oh, June, listen, I am 438 years old and
not a day older.
So I've seen it. I've had to do sort of enforced watchings of it, which I think really also
I think the forced watching of it is the thing that has made me detest it the most. It's omnipresent cultural, like it's this cultural juggernaut that is inescapable, and the TLC channel or whoever's playing it on a loop every year is just a nightmare.
June, and you have watched this movie every year. Yes, all 438 years, June. I've seen it so much.
Every time I feel like every time I've seen it, I feel like I've aged 400 years.
All right, so we both agree, even though this is a beloved classic by many, we don't like it.
No.
What's up next on our list?
I thought we would stop in a cozy place of like cinematic domination at the box office.
All right.
Home Alone.
Home Alone.
Home Alone, the first.
Yes, the first. All right. Grand Arbiter. I think.
No. You have to start. I've gone in too many times.
No, I don't like it. I don't like this movie. Oh no. I don't like it. I get so angry at the family and just like, listen, I also have, you're making me make a terrible revelation about my character to everyone, and no one is going to think of me the same way ever again. I have a hard time with child actors because I think that, well, I'm too aware of how terrible it can be for children who are in the entertainment industry. And also, so often they are simply cute and not actually skillful. And that's not enough for me because I started performing as a child. So I'm like, you can do better, which is not a great attitude to bring to my watching. So I will say that I think Macaulay Culkin is actually quite talented and brings a lot of talent to the role. But is still like driven by this child actor, and I am too aware that his childhood was not nice.
I think it's not about his acting. It's absolutely about knowing how bad his life is.
Yes.
During that time, and then knowing that, and then watching a fictional family also treat him bad is a weird vibe.
Yeah, and I appreciate that his mum, when she realizes and they're in France, loses her mind trying to get home. I appreciate that. But also, what? You forgot your child and you had to get all the way to France before you noticed, and you were terrible to him before you even left the house, and everybody sort of treated him as like an absolute irritation.
It's never made clear to me why they have so many children.
Oh, I mean, listen, I have theories and they're not nice. So,
like, it isn't really clear to me that why they have so many children. Because I think they've adopted. Oh, yeah, no. But the Culkins are incredibly talented actors, all of them.
Yeah, they are.
Macaulay Culkin is very talented for a number of reasons. And also has made a life for himself outside of this film, but the domination of that particular film warped his whole career in a really weird fashion.
Yes.
Also, the second one has President-elect Donald Trump in it, so Okay.
I have never seen the second one, and now I don't know that I ever shall.
It's a little love letter to New York. But because it involves New York in the 90s, Donald Trump plays a role, right? Because New York will forever be associated with this man for a number of reasons. Home Alone, the domination. That's a different kind of Home Alone. That's an adult movie.
So neither of us are defending this film. We both dislike it.
I'm not going to defend much. Okay, now we have to kill one of my darlings.
Oh.
So, I, because of a social cultural relationship with it, a deep historical context that I adored this movie as a child, watched it with my parentals in the nebula void in which I was conceived. White Christmas.
White Christmas. All right.
So if you don't know, White Christmas is a musical movie of the stars of Singing in the Rain and all of those other ilk of the 1940s.
So White Christmas came out in the 1950s. It's a post-World War II
Yes,
movie.
1950s.
Holiday Inn was the predecessor, and so it's sort of a remake, at least spiritually, of Holiday Inn, and which I think Holiday Inn was late 30s, early 40s.
Mhm.
Someone may have to check me on that. And they both share some DNA that makes both of them a little bit of a hard watch.
Well, they both really are obsessed with vaudeville, including a lot of racist tropes, unfortunately.
And blackface.
And blackface, which is a part of vaudeville.
Well, it's certainly a part of the theatrical history of the United States.
So,
Vaudeville, I would argue, is driven by more of the Jewish cultural diaspora and history, and so it's kind of its own beast. But I digress. Grand Arbiter, please continue.
so here's the thing. I think that most of this film is like totally pass away. It's fine. We don't need it. The songs are fine. Most of it is fine.
Oh,
None of
but
it is really exceptional, except for one scene, which is the best scene in the whole entire movie, which I will watch just that scene and then be done. Like we have accomplished the goal, which is, of course, Sister, which is the single best song, which is the single best gag, and it is so fun, and it is a great song, and I love it, and I have no notes for this particular scene.
Yeah, I love Sisters. It's a wonderful bit. It's a wonderful song. I love that whole opening. It has such promise of shenanigans and hijinks and nonsense. And we do get some of that in White Christmas. I used to love this movie. It was one I watched with my grandparents and my grandmama. I used to sing that duet with one of my dearest chums. And now we learn Sisters was done quite improvisationally. I did not know that. That is lovely. Sisters, there were never such devoted sisters.
The best part is the end of the song, though. It's God help the mister who gets between me and my sister. And God help the sister who gets between me and my man.
Yes, that is the best part. And also, Tracy is correct. The problem was the script.
The nemesis of all good media, scripts.
No, the performances are by and large very good. The costumes are fun. It's a conceit that is, honestly, it's a conceit we revisit in the wonderful books by Helena Greer, An Inn Devoted to Holidays. So if you like that conceit, read those books. There's less racism, by which I mean there isn't racism.
So in this last window before we close,
yes.
I'm going to recommend a sort of strange movie.
Oh.
And Madam Askew, if you have a holiday movie that's like a little off the beaten path, you can recommend that.
All right.
Does that sound good for our last ones? Because we've talked about the ones we don't like. I want to talk about something I do like. Okay.
Yes.
I have a deep personal obsession with the animated film Grandma Got Ran Over by a Reindeer.
Right. Something I've never seen.
Okay, so the concept of the film is, I'm just going to give you the cliff notes.
Yes. All right.
The concept of the film is that Grandma and Grandpa own a toy store.
Okay.
And one Christmas, Grandma goes out and disappears and does not appear again. It's unclear what happened.
Oh.
But the child says that Grandma got run over by a reindeer.
Oh.
But no one believes the small child, and everyone is looking for Grandma, and they can't find her. And without Grandma The toy store is going under. It's a disaster.
Oh
And it's
no.
revealed that Grandma got hit in a sledicular accident and was struck by Santa Claus and has been in the North Pole with amnesia. And our villain is an evil aunt who is desperate to sell the toy store to a developer, like the building, to a developer to demolish it and replace it with something. And there are a lot of things that make this movie special. It's very weird in all the ways that I can talk about. But my favorite part is there is a song called Grandpa's Gonna Sue the Pants Off of Santa. Because the major part of this film is that the aunt gets it in her head that because they think that they can prove that Santa did the vehicular accident, that they can take him to court. And they do.
I'm sorry. This is amazing. This is like I had no concept, no idea, and now and Ty says it's Christmas versus gentrification.
It is also an easy 45 minutes.
Oh, it's only 45 minutes long.
It was made for television, and you can watch it on the CW channel. I have posted it here. It's free for streaming. You can watch it whenever you want.
My goodness.
It is a delight. It is very stupid, and I love it.
This is delightful, and you've sold me. I'm going to have to watch it. It sounds absolutely unhinged,
and it's 45 minutes. What's the risk, right?
No, lovely. It'll be perfect. I'll have like a Christmas salad and watch Grandma got run over by a reindeer.
Sure, Christmas salad.
Yeah, no, I mean that's my life. So I don't know. It's so hard for me to choose just one.
I'm also posting it in our Discord under the I guess where
maybe Weird, Wacky, and Wonderful. Or in the Tea and Tangents.
I'll put it in Weird, Wacky, Wonderful.
So
to be consumed.
Yes, wonderful, fantastic. So I don't. It's hard. I'm having a hard time. I'm like there are three that I love so much that I don't think get enough love. Maybe I'll just write about them.
Well, so just pick one right now, and then you'll.
Right. So, animated, queer, or musical?
I think the queer one. We're here now.
All right. So Single All the Way is a really charming little queer holiday rom-com. It's on the Flick of Necks, and it is just a delightful little friends to lovers romance. It's cozy. It is not high stakes. It's wonderfully queer. Everyone's very accepting when we're doing a thing where we're not worried about homophobia or hard things. The family loves the gentleman, and they are welcome. And it is just a delightful little piece of sparkly magic with some wonderful cameos and wonderful little secondary characters who are fantastic scene stealers as well. So it's a fun, cozy, watch it drinking some hot cocoa, maybe with a splash of amaretto if you want to have a little bit of boost to your seasonal holiday celebration. So yeah, that one is definitely a favorite for me, and I watch it every year. So yeah.
Well, we're excited to share all of our stuff with you next year, and we will connect with you, everyone, for our New Year's party And
Yes.
tomorrow for sip the tea. New Year's Eve for our New Year's party, and then of course we will return when we return.
Yes,
We
in
will be doing,
January.
but
We
in
will
the
be
end
back.
of January, we will be doing our Tippy Golden Teacup Awards.
Yes. And in the meantime, if you need a little bit of holiday nonsense, we have re-released our wonderful Ghost Cat sketches from 2019. Those are available. One a day is dropping on our website up until Epiphany. And they're also available to anyone who subscribes at any level. And that means just free subscribers, free members, all the way up. You can all access all of the Ghost Cat sketches on Patreon as well. This is also
learn about the spirits that Madame Q has communed with, connecting with in a spiritual level, as your spiritual meowdemium.
So ridiculous. This was a whole bit we did in 2019, and it's spawned all the things. So really quick, there should be a note that says if you don't have somebody to nominate, you don't have an answer, you just put not applicable or not available, or just put a line there, because we need to make sure that for anyone you nominate, that you also include all of the information. So that means every question has to be required in order to make that happen. So simply, if you cannot or don't have a dandy to nominate, for instance, or you don't have a sewist to nominate, whichever category, just say not applicable, answer that to all of the answers, and then move on to the next section. So thank you, Bill, for bringing that up. So Grand Arbiter, I think it is time for us to bid everyone farewell for the holiday season, at least from Friday Tea, as the Arbiter says. I will be back tomorrow for Sip the Tea. We will be back for our Hogmanay party with Babushka Askew on the 31st.
At Lamwolf headquarters.
Woo! We're so excited. So please keep your eye out for that information. And in the meantime, everyone, please remember, this is so important at this season and all year. Please treasure yourselves as we treasure you. You are irreplaceable. And if you do not take care of yourselves, I shall have to haunt you like one of the ghost cats, only I shall be not charming, I shall be obnoxious and constantly knock off your teacups. You'll never have a hot cup of tea again. So please wash your hands, get your boosters and vaccines, wear a mask if you're not feeling well, bundle up. Do something nice for yourselves, whether it's pulling out that tea you've been hoarding all year or making a really lovely cup of cocoa as a treat. Do something kind for yourselves, because that too is a way of treasuring yourselves. And please know, as you go out into the holiday season, that you are absolutely held in our hearts. We love you. And we cannot wait to celebrate another year of cheeky nonsense with you in 2025. And
it's not like we're going far. You could just bother us on the Discord.
That's
it's not
true.
Really hard to reach us.
That's true. Come join us on the Discord if you have not yet. We'd love to see you there. And if you have not joined yet, I'm just going to drop that link into the comments right now as we are heading out for the evening. Oops. Sorry, everyone. There you go. All right, Grand Arbiter. It's time. Will you sing us out for the evening?
Goodbye and good evening. Be sure to dance to avoid hypothermia. Jack Frost wants to take on your knickers. So make sure you dance so you don't get sicker. Dance off your hypothermia. Dance off your hypothermia. You want to dance off your hypothermia. Dance
Cold
off, dance off.
hands,
Hypothermia, dance
cold
off.
nose.
Bye, y'all.
Bye. Cheers.